Oh, you guys will not believe the day I've had. Oh, goodness. Strawberry lemonade today. Drop the booches in chat. Let's go. I won't start this stream until everyone drops a booch in the chat. And that includes me. I'm trying to do it right now. Tunnel. Hey, glasses. Oh, my glasses. Didn't even notice. Wow. That's much better. Yeah. Please call someone call the hospital. Someone get me, the man, a hospital. 11 viewers. Wow. So 11 of you made it past Twitter's NFT censorship campaign. That's pretty awesome. It's even more awesome considering what we're talking about, which is whisper mode, CIA PSYOPs in art.
Everything's under control. Situation normal.
What happened?
It's okay.
Weapons
Everything's okay.
But,
Get this projector rolling while we're hanging out.
We're fine.
You know who we have on to talk about it with us
How are you?
is the one and only Logan, creator of Thieves, master of AR, master of digital VR space drawing. I've heard he was literally born in a VR headset, like as a cradle. And that's incredible. That's something that none of us can say that we've done. And so when he comes in here, I want you guys to give him the proper respect. Because until you've been born in the digital, you can't come at him. You have to stay in your little meat space opinions. You have to stay off the digital landscape. Okay. In all seriousness, guys, we have a great show for you today. We will be talking about PSYOPs. We will be talking about modern art. We will be talking about how dog shit Jackson Pollock is. And we will also be talking about all sorts of news from boys to eggplants to, I don't know, whatever else is going on. Probably grunts from our one and only tunnel rat sold out immediately. Talk about that a little bit. He's got more plans, so keep an eye out. Let's give this booch a taste, and then we will bring on Logan. Jay, Eagle Soul's getting secondary. Oh. If anyone in this chat likes Jackson Pollock, you can get out. You can leave it immediately. Yeah, Twitter does hate NFTs. What up? We got Snowy, we got my brother, we got my wife, we got 11 viewers, half of which are my family. Perfect. That's just how I like it. We got Logan, Bailey, Jay, Rye, Xander, Tunnel Rat. Man, we got everyone in here. And since everyone is in here, let's jump right into it. Let's bring on Mr. Logan himself. Hey, what's up, man? We're live. We're live on the internet. Well, I mean, I am. I need to set up your camera because I ran out of time.
Oh, man.
But we'll get there.
Okay, Chris. That was from, like, what, last stream?
There we go. Yeah, that was from Boys Chat on Saturday.
Dang, I missed that. I'm always missing Boys Chat on Saturday. I'm always just out of commission, I feel like.
Dude, apparently everyone is because we have, I'd say we have about 25 people who watch regularly, which is cool. But it's some of the most, like, useful information. The people that Ryan schedules and the talks that we have are, like, really, really good.
Oh, I know. I watch them. I pay attention. Like, I watched the YouTube video all the way, almost all the way through. I think I actually gave up halfway through. But yeah, Ryan and brother on that financial podcast going at it. I mean, so much good information, right? It's just like everyone needs to know this stuff.
Yeah, I know, right? And I felt like I knew some of it, right? But then, like, I felt like a complete fool not knowing all of it because we're just selling and, like, have no idea what we're doing. It's like we should all be experts, but it made me very comforted in a strange way to know that he didn't know much either, even though he'd researched it, and then that like nobody is like a professional in it yet. It made me feel like we're on the right track being so early.
I'm so worried for 2022, but I mean that's next year, right? And like we're here today to talk about what the government's done wrong to us. So we don't need to worry about what we need to do wrong to them first. So, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, we can figure that out later. Let me type in.
Jeez, I didn't realize what's up with the Booch Gang. I need to get my I need a sub so I can get some emotes in here. I'm kind of anti-Booch though. I'm pulling up with a monster drink right now.
That's fine, man. We accept all forms of drink, but I personally have a kombucha every stream as a nice little treat.
That's good.
Tell me one thing, Logan. Does your Monster Energy drink have 2 billion probiotic cultures?
Yeah, I think so.
It might actually.
It might. It's got taurine. It's got B vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
B's for probiotic, right? I don't know.
B is for probiotic. I think that I read that in a children's book one time.
I've made kombucha leather before. It's kind of gross. It's really nasty, actually.
Yeah, because that's the SCOBY dried out, right?
SCOBY's like, it's one of those things where it's like, when you're making it though, it smells so bad. I mean, because it's just like fermentation. It's like, I don't know, if you've made like your own beer or stuff, it never smells good.
Yeah.
It never smells good.
Yeah, the mash smells good, and then you ferment it and it smells terrible. And then once you put it in like the fridge for a while, it's like ends up being okay.
Yeah. I'm not a big subscriber to the kombucha leather wave though. I mean, if they can figure out how to make it better, but I mean, yeah.
I'm down with that. I'm on board with you. The leather, no thank you. Making it on my own, no thank you. Drinking the sweetest version possible from the normal grocery store, I'm okay with that. I'm down with
Monster has a literal 87 unleaded in the can.
Yeah. And that probably has lots of B vitamins though, so.
I mean, it's like sustainably unsustainable, right? You know, metal straw, but horrible toxic chemicals for your body.
The metal straw is kind of puzzling to me. Is that how you always drink it?
I mean, here's the thing. When you live in New York and you go to the deli, they give you a plastic straw every single time you get a can of anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want to drink from the rim. They got like rats and stuff running around, and it's like it's kind of sketchy. So they always give you a plastic straw, and I'm like, I can't keep on getting plastic straws. It feels so wrong because I never use them.
Mm-hmm.
It feels bad. I just drink from the lid. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna get a metal straw, throw it in there, make it my own little thing.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Does it make it too fizzy? Every time that I've drank out of a metal straw, it's always like too much.
No, it's it feels actually kind of crisp. It keeps the coolness, kind of like when you drink out of like a hydro flask, or I don't know what kind of like bottle, reusable bottle brand you subscribe to, if it's Swell or Hydro Flask or whatever. But
just mason jars like the hippie I am.
Exactly. Yeah, keeps it nice and crisp for you. Drinking out of glass and metal is so much better than drinking out of plastic. So
that's a fact. Yeah. And spoken like a true CIA PSYOP free man.
I know, right? Did you get a chance to read that article by any chance? I mean, like,
I skimmed through it, but what I did do was on lunch today, I watched a documentary about exactly what we're talking about, how like the CIA funded these modern artists in order to do propaganda war in the Cold War era. Is that the TLDR of it?
Is exactly what it is. I mean, it's really crazy when you go into it. I did a little bit of a mental refresh because I actually wrote an essay on it in college, but I mean, I didn't get an A on that essay for sure. But
you wrote a subpar essay on it.
Yeah, and I wrote a subpar essay on it, but I do know a little bit.
This is the expert that I brought onto the show.
Well, I can go grab my my PhD thesis if you want, but it's not done yet.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. In progress is just as good as finished in my book.
I mean, in progress, as in like not started.
Yeah. Well, have you thought about it?
No.
That's
absolutely.
Oh God, you gotta give me something. I'm just gonna say something, and I'll say that's progress, and then you'll be vindicated.
I just graduated. I don't even want to think about education for like another 4 years. I am.
Yeah. Well, that's progress.
For sure. Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's really wild when you get into it. I mean, what I really want to know is what started the overrated Jackson Pollock tweet. What sent you down that path? Because
Well,
that's where we started with this.
yeah. Well, in my personal life, I say it all the time because it's
Really?
because it's fun.
Yeah,
But
it is. People get really mad about it.
They
It's
get
like saying
so mad.
Basquiat's bad.
I know. Yeah, they get so
So-
mad. But it started on boys chat. I don't remember why. Ryan might remember. If you do,
Ryan.
toss it in chat. But we were talking about something, and then I said Jackson Pollock's super overrated. Man,
I mean,
I'm drawing a blank.
He really is.
he
He
is.
really is though. Like, I mean, if you think about it, it's like it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, everyone knows Shakespeare, but like, how good are all of his writings? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, like, people it's just a common household name. That's what it comes down to. But
Mm-hmm.
Jackson, I mean, if you think about it, Lee Krasner, Jackson Pollock's wife,
Yeah.
10 times better painter.
I haven't seen her work.
Phenomenal. It's literally so close to what Jackson Pollock did. Like a lot of the work comes down to like his old early work. If you've ever been to like any museum,
Yeah.
have you ever been to any museum?
I have been to a museum a couple times. I saw his stuff at oops. I'm trying to pull up Lee Krasner's work at the same time.
No.
I saw one of his pieces in the Seattle MoMA.
Oh yeah. I mean, like I haven't been out to Seattle ever, but I mean, her work is just so much. I'm just pulling it up for my own reference just to get a quick
I'm
visual
seeing
taster.
the pink one right now, and it's really good.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen that one before. That's like, I don't know, maybe someone wrote an article recently about it. Hiding in plain sight. New York Times. I don't know. But
There we go.
I saw a piece of hers next to the Pollock paintings that they have at the MoMA in New York, and I'm just like, comparing them in person is just, you know, you literally have to think to yourself, oh my God, Jackson Pollock is overrated. You know?
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. But it's crazy that like, you know, you said that it was brought up, and I think a lot of people do say that Jackson Pollock's overrated because if you like art, you know a lot more phenomenal artists that are relevant today than
Yeah.
Jackson Pollock. But it's crazy because if you look into it, right, he was pushed so heavily by the U.S. government
Mm-hmm.
for, you know, like the whole purpose of the Cold War and trying to like express what America allowed its people to do creatively.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a war of culture. It was crazy.
Because they funded it was Rothko, right, and then Pollock, and then
De Kooning.
and
Yeah.
they were like kind of the three main CIA funded artists, and apparently they didn't like
yeah.
know that they were being funded. It was just government money or something.
Yeah, there was an article that came out, and it was mentioned in the article I shared to you. But the article, it was just dropped in the chat. But the one that I'm referencing currently. But the thing is that I just drew a blank. Oh my God. But they didn't know. I don't think they knew at the time. But like someone published an article like a couple years after, and this is like I want to say like 60s, 70s,
Yeah,
or maybe a little bit earlier. But like.
I think it was
They're like, this is where your tax dollars are going, because the U.S. government straight up went and bought the paintings. It wasn't like they were like taking the paintings and exhibiting them for sale.
Yeah.
It's like they went and straight bought the paintings,
Yeah.
took them out, and then like were showing them around the world, and it got canceled after a second, because people were pissed about it. But it got the point across, really. I mean, like they were just trying to show off like what like these free painters were doing, but then like the president started bashing it because the president didn't know. I just bumped my mic, holy crap. The president didn't know at the time, I don't think. I think the president was like Harry Truman or something, and like it was like something that was pushed through by pre-CIA.
Okay.
And there was like a board of people, and the board of people that were like the group or organization before the CIA was created were all board members that were also board members of the major museums, which is a trip.
That is a trip.
About that.
That is a trip.
Because you have like, it's crazy.
Yeah. The part that I caught about that was that they were like before the CIA. So Truman did make the CIA in like 56 or something like that. And then, and then before then, they were all in like different buildings around the city. Like they didn't have any sort of like base or anything. And then they they started just buying this art because who was it? It was Lenin, right? And it was the they were trying to fight communism, and because they knew that communists leaned way more towards representational art and hated like modern artists, even though the American modern artists were communists. Like it was like a weird balance of everything. So they they knew that by funding this art, it would make its way over to the Soviet countries, and that they would hate it, and it would like cause social unrest.
I mean, it's so funny because like when they bought up all the work, right, from the artists to promote like anti-communism and like to try and like push back on like the red wave, and like they had this whole thing going for them. But then they were like, wait, do these artists support communism? Like, do the artists we buy from? Because like Pollock and all of them, they were part of like socialist communes and stuff like for a time. I don't know about de Kooning and Rothko so much, but like they were all part of like this like underground like New York City scene, right? And they were like probably communists, you know, like, or like they like probably were like more sympathizers towards socialist / communist like groups than they were with like American like views at the time. Right. So they were just doing this out of like for no reason, just because they were making these crazy gestural artworks, abstract expressionism, right? It's just wild.
You can't tell me the CIA doesn't have a reason for everything. You can't tell me they just go fuck with people's lives and then see what happens.
I feel like it's just one giant like data like use case test pool. Like they're just making like presentation decks and just like talking about us all day. I mean, at this point, it's just one giant game, right?
Right.
It feels like that sometimes. It really does. But
it genuinely, truly does. It's like you try and figure out what's going on or like why they would do that, especially stories that are starting to get declassified now, right? Excuse me. But they're like dosing people with LSD back in the 50s and 60s just for and just keeping them for fun, and like just trying to see the men who stare at goats is like a real thing, and like some of the stuff they did is just incredible. I mean, Ted Kaczynski was part of the MK Ultra experiments.
I don't even know what that is.
Ted Kaczynski was the Unabomber. He's the guy who moved out to the cabin, and then so he's like genius, right? He's incredibly smart, but he in college he got fucked with. He wasn't part of the LSD experiments because MK Ultra was bigger than that, but he was part of a study where they basically shit on everything that he did systematically throughout his college career, and just to see like what happened. And so they completely messed with his mind, and then he got out with his like doctors in math or whatever, some sort of crazy math degree. Like he like helped invent calculus or something like that. I don't know. He did something. And then he goes off in the woods and like, he's like, yeah, computers, not so great, guys. Let me start mailing letters.
Jesus. It's so insane. Yeah. It's like all those stories. I wish I read more on that kind of stuff. Men Who Stare at Goats is wild. Is that also about the Unabomber?
That's not. I think that's about another, it's about like a CIA operation where they tried to coax telepathy by giving people LSD, I think.
Oh.
Which is super interesting and kind of crazy. I don't know if you've ever done psychedelics, but there's definitely an aspect to that. Some of the stories you get are like defy explanation.
Yeah, they really are. It's kind of freaky. I mean, I'm not gonna dive too much into what I've done and haven't done.
Sure.
It's one of those things where it's like you gotta experience it yourself, and then you really start to see through it. You know, you hit that kind of like fourth wall or whatever, and you're like, whoa. It's trippy. It's really trippy. But yeah, I mean, I just think that like literally the CIA I feel like they're like less oppressive now. I feel like they've gotten into like, I feel like they're like among us now. I feel like I don't know how they collect the data and do tests on us these days. I bet we're gonna find out a bunch of weird information in like 20 years.
Yeah, we always find out about 30 years later.
Yeah, it's like, what are they putting in these mango jewel pods, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, man. Have you seen those anti-vaping ads where there's like metal shards going into your lungs and they're like
I know
eviscerating themselves?
It's so they make it so dark, and you have to wonder. It's like they didn't do this when the tobacco, like whatever happened to the good old days of like smoke cigarettes, your teeth will be better for it. You know what I mean? Your dentist approves.
Yeah.
And like now it's like no, like it's like the most gruesome, grim like content that's like
Yeah.
I don't even know if like some of those anti-tobacco commercials like shouldn't be shown on TV, on public television.
They're harsh.
They're freaky.
Yeah.
They're like horror stories. I mean, like it's scary. I mean, like also, I mean, you should be kind of scared of tobacco. It fucks up your body or whatever. But I mean,
in my opinion, and this is why you see different alcohol poisoning and like teen drunkenness rates in Europe versus America, is because like in the U.S. we just tell everyone, hey, don't drink no matter what until you're 21, and over in Europe and pretty much everywhere but the States, they're like, hey, like you can drink, but just like be careful about, like be reasonable about it.
like
and
you
then,
can't
and then
have,
they end up being much healthier for it. So
exactly, it's like you have these kids binge drinking in America because it's like it's prohibited. You can't do it until you're 21. It's like I don't get it. Everyone's drinking it at 16.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. I mean, maybe not everyone, but like everyone's tried at least a little bit of alcohol by 16 in America. But like it's still, you know, when you're drinking with your family at 12 in Europe, it's like it's so much better psychologically just to kind of get used to what it is. You know what I mean? And the way it makes you feel. But
for sure.
honestly, all I do these days is drink. I mean, like that sounds horrible. Actually, now that it came out of my mouth, all I do these days is drink. But no, I only
just sit here alone and drink all day. That's all I do.
Alcohol is the only drug of preference these days in moderation, right?
Yeah.
It's just everything else just wipes me out, man. I don't have the endurance that I used to. It's so tough.
That's fair. Yeah, I feel the same way. I don't I don't really do anything anymore. You know who did do a lot though? Is Jackson Pollock, dude. He drank a lot.
Oh, that's a great segue. He drank so much that he ended up dying. I mean, the dude had a horrible kidney. It's kidney failure, right? When you drink too much?
Yeah.
Ugh, geez. My worst fear in life is kidney stones. That's like one of those things that's like underrated on the top 10 like fears of things, like burning alive, drowning, and then kidney stones. It's definitely up there. No, I haven't. I pray that I never do.
Yeah, that's fair. It's supposed to be terrible.
Yeah, I mean, keep on drinking your kombucha. You'll never have them.
Really? Is that a benefit of the booch?
I feel like it helps your stomach just process things, right? It's probiotics.
Yeah.
Like it helps your stomach stay healthy and clean, right? Isn't that what probiotics do? I honestly don't even know. Remember,
it's supposed to.
I had a whole like freshman art school first year of like being on the kombucha heavy, you know, kombucha and cigarettes. And then you know, I got burned out on that. Now I just drink Monster and drink alcohol alone.
Yeah, and who's to say what's better later, right?
I know. No, but what's so crazy about that whole story with Jackson Pollock and de Kooning and Rothko? First of all, to digress into Rothko is crazy because his first big collector was Rockefeller, which is a cool kind of like origin story for him. Yeah, because he was selling work for like nothing, and then like Rockefeller started buying up pieces for like 10 grand a piece out of nowhere. Yeah, and 10 grand at that time is like $1 million today. Right. You know. And so it was huge for him, but then you look into what Rothko became and you realize that like the person who started the MoMA in New York was, I forget, I think it's Amy Rockefeller. I think it was like she's like 2 down in the lineage. I don't know what it is. I forget the lineage, but I don't know, but she started the MoMA, right? And she funded it and all this stuff, and she brought it to life. And what kind of collection did they have? They had a ton of Rothkos, so they just filled the museum with Rothkos, and that kind of just like spirals into this next thing. Yeah. And then the president of the MoMA, like 10 years later, is another Rockefeller who ends up being on that operative board that's like pre-CIA, that's promoting that to like the world for all that other stuff. And it's like you look at all the people that were on these boards, and then like the president of the MoMA became the president of the Whitney Museum in New York. Yeah. And it's just like all these different ties, and then like they take that government funding and buy a bunch of paintings and then send it out to the world to promote abstract expressionism, which to the president was like quoted like as like just a bunch of garbage. But it's still free will. It's an expression of free will, and as long as people are doing what they want, it's good enough for the American people, right? So
Yeah.
it's crazy. It really is wild how it all kind of just like develops and gets pushed, and like the narrative changes as people need it to change. But I mean, at the end of the day, you look at who started collecting the work first, and that's what got promoted to the world.
Do you think that it would have? Do you think that like modern art and abstract expressionism? Do you think that that would be anywhere near as popular as it was without the help of Rockefeller and the CIA and big donors like that? Because critics hated it. Critics
They really
were so
really
against
did.
it, and the general population was super against it too.
I mean, because you had like you had expressionism coming after impressionism, right, and neo-impressionism, and then you have like abstract expressionism coming into form, which was basically just de Kooning and Pollock, which was like that they were the big names of that.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy that like they were the ones to come out of it with the critics that hated it so much. But honestly, I do think abstract expressionism, like point blank, would have been the next movement, hands down.
Yeah.
People were over like the impressionistic style. They wanted to feel something. I mean, if you also look at like what the populace was feeling at the time, they were feeling like a I mean that whole abstract expressionistic like jump came during like I'm blanking on the social period, but it's like, hippies, love, culture, unity, all those different things, like taking a bunch of LSD, taking a bunch of like going to like festivals and stuff, and just free expression. Which was the first time you were seeing that in a long time, since like early in the European era with like Picasso, and like Dali and stuff. And so there was this huge like movement of people just like finally expressing art that you wanted to express. And then you had like right after that, you had like the Fluxist movement and performance art. It went beyond painting, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you had like these like crazy performance artists doing wild like love, and like these like just groups of people like creating these like amazing communes to do these like crazy experiments artistically. And you had that in Europe, and you had that in Russia too. I mean, if you look at some of the artists that were doing work at the time, they have like some of the craziest expressionistic work coming out of there. I'm trying to think of, let's see, who did the Black Square? I forget. I don't know. I'm like trying to like do deep recall.
Who did the Black Square?
Something Kazmanov or something. I don't know.
Classic artist me. I remember exactly what it looks like, but have no idea what the date or person. Like,
Yeah.
I have this repository in my brain of what art looks like, and there's no accompanying information at all.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name. I know that like if you just Google Black Square art painting, like you'll get it. But
Malevich. Malevich.
Malevich. And like his work was just, it was like not expressionism. It was more like, I forget what the movement was called, but suprematism. You have that stuff. I guess that was I guess I'm kind of getting my timelines mixed up here. I don't know, but I think it would have come next, because you had people like this making art that looks like this already, which questions form, right? And it's moving away from the body and figurative like artwork. It's moving away from like these like classic landscapes and stuff. It's questioning what art is, and that had been happening all of the 20th century.
Yeah.
So it like abstract expressionism was I can't say that anymore. Abstract expressionism is the next in line. You know what I mean? Like, as far as development in painting.
That makes sense, and it does seem like it's part of the zeitgeist, right? So the free love movement, the hippies rebelling against nuclear families in the 50s. Like the whole 60s was kind of just a change of the times in a bunch of different aspects, and it makes sense that, I mean, because society is like a pendulum, right? It swings to like left and right. It swings from I don't know what two sides you want to say, but if you want to do it political, it's like between the right and the left. If you want to do like more religious and more stringent versus more like pagan and free form, or
Totally.
I don't know the best words to describe those two ends of the pendulum, but I think you know what I'm talking about. So I agree that it seemed like a natural progression. I just wonder how much influence, and we'll never know, right? How much influence these actors who were just explicitly trying to wage a propaganda war had on the art scene.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at that time, and this is where you like think about it really, because like, how free was their expressionism, right? Especially when you think of Pollock's case and stuff like that, because like they were just enabled by these actors to do what they were doing, but like, and then they end up just doing the same splatter painting 1,000 times over with different colors.
Yeah.
And the variation kind of dies, and like the expression kind of dies because it was what like the public demanded from them. Not the public, but the government, you know, which is so scary to think about how like this was like the portrait of what a painter should look like in America. And then you get all these people following it up, but then you also get this like weird like bleed out of like other artists kind of trying to follow suit because it's what's been successful. I mean, you have a bunch of other people trying to do the same thing all of a sudden, and like, and then you start to lose that kind of like free expression because that expressionism starts to get buried under itself. It cannibalizes, right? I don't know. It's wild. It's interesting to see. I mean, historically too, when you look back at it, like art is always kind of chosen by these like larger actors sometimes. Not always. I wouldn't say always. Definitely, especially now in our era, we're moving towards that kind of like DeFi lifestyle of like people choose the art that they want to support. But like you look back at the Medici family, you look back into like the Egyptian era, like you look back at like old Rome and like the Catholic, like they chose the way that artists were going to paint Jesus, right? Or like Mother Mary, like you had to do it in a specific fresco style. But then you had like the Renaissance, which like bloomed out, but even then no longer you didn't have the church dictating, you just had the Medici family dictating,
Right.
you know? So it's like you always have these like leaders that are kind of like pushing for a certain ideal, which is fascinating, honestly.
Right. Do you think that that's being less true, or do you think that it's still going to be similar to that, where there's a driving force behind art and it's just going to be a little bit more under the radar?
No, I think it's less true. I think memes are breaking us free from everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just meme culture in general. Like you can't tame the meme, you know what I mean? And like by the second you decree it popular, you kill it because you take it out of its like context.
Yeah.
You know, if you take it away from its like original like state, it becomes like no longer relevant. And like you have like these like classic memes and stuff like that that are like always going to be classic, but they no longer have the same kind of presence they do when you're posting them online.
Right.
I think memes are like going to be like the next. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to make any huge claims or statements, but like memes are like the future of like what our culture is going to look like. You know, it's like this flash fire thing where things like happen quickly and die quickly, but like you got to love it for what it is. I mean, things don't need to be pristine anymore, and like things move too quickly. There's too many people making too much amazing stuff, and that's not a bad problem to have, you know?
Yeah. I think what I'm seeing in the NFT space, and granted we're still incredibly small, is that the decentralization aspect of it and the lack of curators, because that's what those patrons were. They were like very specific curators they were like tastemakers who put money behind things and gathered people under that umbrella. But right now what we're seeing with like the 10,000 generative projects and stuff is we're seeing the ADHD of the masses, where this thing's hot one day, this thing's hot the next day, and I think that's a little bit because we're lacking more of a tastemaker figure in the space. And I think that you're right, and that lends to memes too, right? Because everything's so bite-sized and so fast, very quick turn to come and to go. It's hot flashes, right? But I don't know if that's necessarily good. I think we need some more tastemakers to come in the space.
Yeah, but I think we're just in one of those like open cycles. you know, where like
Mhm.
we're missing the tastemakers, but that's not a bad thing because things are breeding in a weird way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and they're breeding quickly. You
Mhm.
know, things just like spawn out of nowhere. I mean, I saw a tweet earlier. You mentioned it earlier. It's like you had like 2,000 eggplants in your wallet. I don't know what that is.
I know.
I don't.
I did a little dive. I'm gonna talk about that later in the stream.
Yeah, I can't keep up with all that stuff, but like
Right.
it's the tastemakers who kind of rule what is like got a little bit of it's substantial, you know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
got your whole like food pyramid, you know, it's got all the greens and the fucking proteins and stuff partly in it. I mean, it's also just comes down to like art education too.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things where like how important is like education around art and like art history and like contextualizing all this stuff? Because I know a bunch of stuff that I don't think's ever gonna be relevant in my own art practice.
Mm.
You know, I'm a painter. I fuck around with VR, and like the second I started doing stuff in VR,
Mhm.
all that stuff I like knew went out the window. You know what I mean? Because like
Right.
it was like this like it's like this unknown space where like you can just do whatever you want to do, and like right now there's very little judgment on it because
Mhm.
there's not much of it, you know.
Yeah.
And so there's like it's kind of hard to like build that circle of just like what's going on. Someone's in the comments said TikTok is ruining everyone's time preference.
Mhm.
I love TikTok. Hot take.
I
Hot take. I don't know.
I think that I mean I think that's the problem, right? Is that everyone loves TikTok and everyone loves like Instagram and Twitter because because you get all those fucking dopamine hits. But
I
the
know, it's
but
crushing.
the time preference thing is true though. Like if you are sitting there watching bite-sized content all day and then you try and go like sit in a park for half an hour, you're gonna you're gonna be like fucking
Yeah.
nuts. It's so much
Go
harder.
in a museum, right? Like stand in front of a painting. What's that painting doing? It's not animated. It's not rotating. That's for
Right.
sure. Shit.
Yeah, where's the animation? What the fuck kind of museum is this?
Yeah, wait, this Pollock's not a GIF? I can't right click this shit? Fuck. Oh my god. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. It's gonna be so interesting to see how just things like unfold over the next like 10 years, especially
Hmm.
in the art world. I mean, I follow like I read up like I like my morning routine right now is like checking ArtNet and like looking at my artists that I follow on Instagram and seeing what kind of shows they're curating and like
Hmm.
what they're being curated in. And it's weird. There's so much diversity and it's like really hard to pinpoint like what is happening,
Yeah.
you know? And like the artists that I think are really relevant, they all try to like jump on the NFT train
Hmm.
and they had like their one-off piece that got published on Super Rare or like um uh Nifty Gateway, but then like that's it. And then they just exited, you know?
Mm.
And like it's because like the art world that like isn't the NFT art world moves so slowly, you know?
Right.
And like it can't keep up with everything that's happening, but at the same time, like everything that's happening maybe it doesn't need to be kept up with, you know?
Hmm.
It's interesting.
That is super interesting. I have no idea. It's like it's moving too fast to even judge, right? It's like
it really is.
it feels
yeah.
like thinking of $1 billion. It's like I have no conception of what $1 billion is. Like I've never held $1 billion. Like I don't know. I know the numbers behind it, but I don't have any like intuition about it. And it feels like the NFTs feel very similar to me, where it's like I know this is a future, but I have no feel for what that's going to actually be like.
Yeah, it's like swimming in like a zero gravity pool, right? I don't even know if that's I
Yeah.
don't even know where that reference came from. That's a horrible analogy. That's like the least. I've never swam in a zero gravity pool.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like if you haven't like gone skydiving or anything, like you don't know what being weightless feels like. Like you
Yeah,
can imagine it's like, okay, well, I'd be up in the air and I'd be like, but you just wouldn't know it.
Yeah, you can't ground yourself anywhere. You know what I mean? You're bouncing back and forth, and it's one of those things where you start to gravitate towards the things you really like.
Yeah.
But like, what happens when those things just kind of like fizzle out, or
Mhm.
like they grow into something you dislike,
Yeah.
and you can't find yourself like really landing anywhere clear. And it really is the long game for sure. It always has been. I mean, like
Mm.
at the end of the day, life is just the waiting game. It's just patience and
Mhm.
like seeing how things unfold. But I mean, when you're constantly on that, like, when you're constantly on like TikTok and you have like that time preference of like less than 3 seconds, it feels so like empty. You
Yeah.
know, you feel so kind of alone in so many ways. It's freaky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I don't know. It doesn't seem like It doesn't seem like we're stopping anytime soon. So I would hope that there would be something that comes along that balances people a little bit or helps people manage it a bit better. And I think something will come along, but I don't exactly know what it would be.
I know, and it's interesting because it's like, I wonder who the tastemakers are going to become. I mean, is it going to be you?
It's just going to be me.
It's just going to be you.
yeah. I mean, I'll do it. I don't want to, but I'll taste make for everyone.
Sure.
I'll say that pickles are dumb. I'll say that apes are okay. Boys are number 1 god tier, and thieves are number 2 god tier.
Duh. Obviously. Gosh, man, that project is very underway. I've been so quiet about it lately, but
yeah.
I'm not going to plug myself here. Don't worry.
Oh no, I usually ask for plugs at the end. Are you working on something? 2 things I want to get to before we run out of time.
Yeah.
The first one is I want to know your opinion on Pollock, given all of this information, because what started this out was me tweeting out that I hate Jackson Pollock, right? And we haven't even covered why I hate Jackson Pollock, but it's kind of wrapped up within the whole thing, right? And then I also want to hear about Thieves and about what you're doing and what you got coming up next.
All right. Well, I mean, we can dive into it. I want to hear just a little tidbit of what really aggravates you about Jackson Pollock.
Whenever I say this, everyone says, "Oh, but he was such a great marketer." Because my thing is that his whole conceptual like stance behind his artwork was that it was like dynamic movement, right? And it was emotions.
Autonomous. Yeah,
it was like emotions like into raw painting, because he could stand on top of it, he could do the movements and stuff, and like it was just all very like base and like movement oriented. And then but like, you mean like every artist of all time, like they like feel something and then they put their body into movement to make it happen? Like, just because you're standing over a painting doing less technical work doesn't mean that you're not doing the exact same thing that everyone has done before you, except for now you're just picking up this little point and making it like the entire conceptual framework for it. Yeah. And I understand that marketing's part of art, right? Like, I don't knock people who are good at marketing their art, but there is a type of marketing that it's after the fact. It's, I want to do this piece of art, and then I'm going to make something up to make it important, and then we're going to sell. I would rather have it, the concept build the art, and then the art be marketed and just kind of speak for itself. Does that all make sense?
It does make sense, but I think you're missing a key point.
Okay.
This was a PSYOPs operation, right?
Yeah.
But no, I do totally understand you. I personally, I always like the devil advocate, like be the devil's advocate of artists and like try and like go the opposite way and be like, well, listen, like he did something new that was like being published in a unique way. Like, he was a good marketer, but he was marketing something that like was performative, and it like met the people's like desires of like what art could be, and it gave a lot of room. But at the same time, look at his wife's work. Lee Krasner is a much more phenomenal painter, in my opinion, and was doing things that were much more raw. And so it's like, he wasn't the only one. He just was probably just a good marketer. I have a very unopinionated take on Jackson Pollock. I am not a fan. I'm not a fan. I think it's cool. I'll spend some time with a painting in a museum, but like, I'd rather go stand in front of a Rothko. Yeah. If we're talking like pure raw emotion coming off of a painting, it's gonna be like a Rothko. Even de Kooning, or again, Lee Krasner. I mean, there's so many painters from that time period that like expressionistically, you can feel their raw emotion through it much more than Jackson Pollock. I feel like the whole idea of like Jackson Pollock being this like letting his body do the mechanical movements that he just felt naturally, and like it was just happening, and he was like in a trance like state or whatever. There's so many other painters that do that better, in my opinion. Sure. And that's just like kind of how it goes. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel like I'm kind of letting you down. I just have like no take on Jackson Pollock. He's an all right guy.
That's fair. And I think that's how a lot of people feel. And yeah. So, hey, 1 second, Logan. Ryan, you redeemed a fuck, marry, kill. What were the options again?
Go back. What?
Yeah, so there's a thing on my stream. If people watch they can
Oh,
redeem
your channel points?
Yeah, they can redeem the channel points for a fuck, marry, kill. And I'm gonna have
Oh
you do
my
this
God.
one.
These are genius.
Yeah.
I love this.
Thanks. The attic cam is down. I'm having such a hard time with it. It's really frustrating. But I have like crows attack me and stuff. I can send you a replay if you want.
I have seen the clips. I do pay
Okay.
attention to these things. I just
That's fair.
I'm always just not around when the stream's live. I'd be a fucking chat troll if I could. I'm just not around.
That's fair. You got more important stuff to do.
Pollock, Warhol, Rothko. Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, you got to think of your take too, because I got to know what you think of these guys. But I think I would absolutely marry Rothko.
Okay.
He seems like just a menace of a man. Horrible guy to marry, I feel like, but also deeply passionate.
Yeah. That's fair.
Pollock, I would probably just do the kill. I would probably just murk him, just like cold blood, point blank, back of the
all
alley.
you have to do is just buy a little bit too much alcohol and then just leave it out on his like doorstep.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll
And
do it
then
for you.
Warhol, it's got to be the one night stand. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like Warhol is just. First of all, I don't even think he was like. I think he was like asexual. Honestly, I mean, like no one. It's always been up in the air what his preference was, but
Yeah.
I really think he just wouldn't even be down.
Yeah.
But I would try, consensually, of course.
Well,
But,
if it wasn't him, you could probably find someone at those parties, and I think that's by proxy.
Oh, I know. Or it would just be like one big orgy of some sort. Yeah, I mean those parties are just too. I don't wish I grew up in New York in that period. I feel like it was gross as hell. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I definitely did not want to be in New York in that period. I want to be back. I want to be back with like Tolstoy and Ilya Repin and the realist time. That's
interesting.
That's my jam.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you approve, Ryan. Thank you. Menace of a man.
like
Ryan.
Morrissey. Exactly. And like David Byrne. Like those kind of like probably autistic like savant artists that just like don't care for sex. They just want to make music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. Well, musicians are a different breed. I mean,
yeah.
We're talking painters, right?
Yeah, they're a little different breed. I don't know how much.
I mean, like, I feel like if you put a musician and an artist in the room, they're both artists, of course, but like when you sit them across from each other, they have very different ways of expressing themselves.
Yeah, one needs attention and the other needs to be alone.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes.
Just on aggregate.
It comes down to the person. It really does. I mean, like, look at like people like David Lynch and David Bowie, who are both artists as well in their own likes, but everyone dabbles across all the different things.
You can't bring up David Lynch on here, man. I'm gonna go off on it. David Lynch is my favorite person, I think, of all time.
Really?
I love him so much. And I almost brought him up earlier because he's just like in his studio alone doing whatever he wants and he doesn't care about anyone else. And he's like the needed idiosyncratic artist that like defied or that like broke into commercial filmmaking. It's so crazy.
I can tell just by that rambling sentence alone. I don't even know what that sentence was just love for the person. You know, it's like, oh god, I don't want to go down this hole. This is a nightmare zone of just passion for I mean, like, I feel you on that. I'm not super well educated on all of his work, but I mean, David Lynch was a master at his trade for sure.
For sure.
I mean, I guess I'll just dive into the self-plug a little bit. I mean, I really don't have much to plug. I've been so busy these past 2 months. If anything, this is like my apology letter to just being inactive for the most part, because I've been moving and like graduating and being out of school. You know, I'm out of school now. This is like my 3rd month, I think.
Okay.
Graduated.
Where'd you
college.
graduate from?
Parsons School of Design in New York.
Parsons.
Okay, yeah.
Cool.
It's like close to NYU. It's just like another art school.
Is it good?
Yeah, I mean, like, hindsight's 2020.
Yeah.
I didn't like it when I was there, but honestly, it was pretty awesome. I learned a lot. I learned quite a bit, I think. And I'm one of those people that likes education too much.
Yeah.
And I always went to class and stuff, and yeah, it was cool. But being out of school is weird. It's been a while since like I've had time to kind of think to myself. So that's what I've been doing, and like
Mm,
getting situated in my new, like, this is kind of going to be my studio space right here for
yeah.
a while. I'm hoping it works out. But yeah, I mean, like, as far as thieves go,
Mhm.
VR has become this huge mental block for me because I'm so passionate about it, but I'm also so passionate about painting, and I'm like trying to figure out where I can bridge these two things.
Mhm.
Um, but the most I can really go into thieves right now, I'm gonna do a little bit of like a drop later next week, I think. I've been pushing it off week after week because I
Okay.
have some news that I want to announce about the project, but it's just things take time to bake, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I think I'm gonna do a drop next week to try and close out the act 2 of Thieves.
Okay.
On Rarible, I still have them up, but I'm gonna try and do something a little bit more fun and engaging with them for the community sense. But I'm announcing something that's gonna be wearable based. So Thieves are
Oh,
obviously these masks.
yeah.
And I've been working with a few different people on trying to get the right one made that feels like the VR sculpture. Because
Mm,
I mean, the intention was to be metaphysical, and yeah,
yeah.
like in a way, like it's supposed to be something you could have like in an avatar, like me bits or like
Mm,
anything else where you can use it in these metaverse spaces.
mm,
But it originated from a physical mask,
okay.
and so I want to be able to bring that back and try to like pair that with the object because I'm a painter and I want my paintings to be paired with the NFT as well.
Yeah.
And so I've been working with like doing different chips and stuff and trying to figure out how that works.
Nice.
And it's been a process of just like battling technology and battling like manufacturing stuff and finding the right people to be able to do it.
Mhm.
And I've had 2 masks made already.
Mhm.
They didn't turn out how I wanted.
Ah,
So I'm working with another person. I just got a photo today of it. It's complete, and I'm getting it on Thursday, and I think I'm gonna tease it next week. So
nice.
stay tuned for that for sure.
That's
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah.
All right, so we're coming
It's
up
been
on thieves season, huh?
Thief season is coming back.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm so stoked. It's been like a big breath this past month and a half, and I'm just
Mhm.
happy to get back into it. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And that's needed, right? I've been feeling that too. It's like working on this stream and kind of building the Discord and stuff like that. It's been a nice little change of pace from trying to sell as much art as fast as possible while the gold rush was happening.
Exactly, I know. And like, I mean, you've been at it. I mean, you've grown into a full-blown streamer. I mean,
It's
like
weird.
it's crazy. I mean, it's cool to have such an awesome voice at the forefront of the space. I should say tastemaker, I suppose.
I'm a
You know.
tastemaker, dude, and I'm an influencer. So, did you see my tweet about that?
Oh
It's so
no.
cringe when people say like, now that I'm an influencer, like you should listen to, the projects will obey me, and I will decide who wins and loses.
I
It's
mean,
like,
you're coming up on
stop it.
10K on Twitter, man. That's huge. I mean,
It's crazy. I don't know
like
why.
the NFT space in this period, in this time period from like February or maybe even January to like now needs to be documented in some like serious way because
Yeah.
like that could be a PhD. You know what I mean? Like
Definitely could.
entirely. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's so much going on. Yeah, I hope that someone is like making some sort of story or something. I don't know. I wish Mark
Yeah.
would. Mark was a documentary filmmaker, but now he's just hustling on Habibis. So if anyone's gonna make it like retrospectively, I think that Mark would.
I want to link to this to you into the chat
Mhm.
because I just don't know where it's at. There's this artist, his name is Brad Trammell. He's probably one of the most based artists out there these days.
Yeah.
And he's avoided the NFT space pretty heavily.
Okay.
But
Because
he
of
has this,
environment.
I don't really know. I just think he's like one of those like wannabe controversial. I mean, he's not a wannabe. He's very much like cool artist, but like he's like trying to be controversial about it.
Yeah.
I think he's just staying away from it. I've talked to a lot of different artist people in New York who like don't want to enter the space because it's like certain collectors dislike it. Which I don't know. That's a huge different conversation. But
Ooh,
he
yeah.
has this like Reels situation going on. It's called. Oh, here it is. Let me see if I can get the link.
Bailey says I'm the Medici of NFT. Fact, Bailey. My wife says I'm a pioneer. That's true. I'm an American. I'm a pioneer.
Oh, he has a Patreon link to this. Okay, but on his IG, he has all the reels up for it. Or his IGTVs. Can I pull the link for this? Because I want to drop it in the chat.
I hope so.
I don't know. He's just one of those people who does actually write like basically PhD essays, and like everyone in the art world like goos over his freaking writings that he makes, and he's well written. I mean, he writes these amazing, phenomenal, blah 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 essays. I think there's a few artists that write relevant stuff right now in the art criticism world, because I mean, Jerry Saltz got fucking ripped out of the NFT space.
Dude, that was
he tried to
that was like basically all Bofa.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
I don't know. I didn't follow it. I just remember seeing it happened, and then I remember like Beanie Maxi like tweeting about it, being like Jerry Saltz just got canceled by NFT people.
Yeah,
and I was just like, all right, dope.
Yeah,
finally like an art critical space that he can't like try and rip in half. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, get out of here with your New Yorker magazine publication, dude. Like, I don't want to read another article by you.
Yeah. I honestly don't know hardly anything about him, but it seemed like, from what I saw from my perspective, it's like he came in and tried to do something, like tried to start critiquing NFTs, and then Bofa just started shitting on him and making memes about him for like every second of every day, and like putting his head on naked cowboys and like
it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
So
I mean,
good.
Jerry Saltz is probably the most memed critic in the space, which to a certain level, like, congrats. Like, that's kind of cool actually, like, for being like a critic that people actually couldn't name.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys want to check out that link and have like 20 minutes to watch like 6 different reels, I think it's a really interesting art historical / critical take on what the NFT space is from like an art world perspective, not from like a DeFi or decentralized perspective, not really talking too much about like what crypto is or like, you know, blockchain art, whatever. It's just kind of more art educational. I wouldn't say it's like it's not the Bible, but it's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll have to check that out then. If we have time after the news, we'll run through some of these, and I'll definitely watch it on my own.
Yeah.
Bookmark it right
make
now.
your segue into the news for sure.
Let's do it. Logan, this has been so much fun, man. Thank you for hopping on a whim and talking all sorts of crazy shit with me. I appreciate it.
I know. I loved it. It was awesome. I think this is the first time we've actually ever talked.
Oh, yeah.
And it was on stream.
I'm having that with a lot of people, actually, and it's fun, but also weird at the same time. It's like, I've only tweeted at you, and then we've never actually talked. But
fair enough. I mean, if it's going to happen in any space, it's going to happen in the NFT space. I mean, just got to go about it however you got to go about it. So.
Yeah. I don't know how else it would be. It's like we're all on Twitter. We all know each other from Twitter, so why not just meet on live streams?
I know. I can't wait for some of these big conferences. I'm hoping to meet some people. Are you going to NFT New York City?
I'm not. I'm up in the Northwest, so I'm pretty far. But
okay.
Especially like first year conferences, they're always kind of sketch, but I don't know.
Here, so I'm trying to meet people IRL. So
yeah,
just to say what's up, just make everything feel a little bit more connected and less dissociated. I get that easily, so it's like, yeah.
I would kind of like to go, so I guess I'll just think about it. If I am going though, I'll hit you up though, and we should hang up, have a big meetup or something.
Hell yeah, because I know Slimy's out here, like Bren, and then like Ryan's out here. I think I don't know what he's up to these days, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people in New York City, and like I feel like a lot of different punks are out here too, which is cool.
I think there's a ton of people. I mean, like you would expect, San Francisco and New York, you're gonna you have a lot of people on the forefront of tech. I feel so outcast because I'm up here in like Idaho, and I'm like, I guarantee you, I'm like one of 2 people doing NFTs in around here.
Fair enough. That's good though. I mean, like, it's cool that everyone's all over the world. I mean, that's the coolest part about all of this. So
right, I was talking with Steph the other day about traveling, and it's like, well, now, like, I literally know probably someone in every country. Just like if I tweet out like, hey, we need a place to stay, can we crash? I guarantee you there'd probably be someone who would like take us in.
For real, everyone in the NFT space is so loving too. Like
Mm.
they're definitely gonna make it happen some way or form. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
For sure.
awesome.
Well, thanks again, Logan. I'm going to play the sound, the applause sound. Everyone, show Logan some love. Thanks again for coming on, man. And
Thank you.
we'll talk to you later.
Hell yeah, dude. Appreciate it so much.
You got it, man. Peace.
Peace.
We did it, guys. We did it. And now, it's time for the news. It's time for the And welcome to the news. It is the most hype intro ever. Here, let me fix my chat. Welcome to the news. It's me, Orphan, your newsman. Bam, 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 bam. There's a squirrel water skiing. How do I turn the news down? Here, let me see. Scene transition. I might need to go in it. I'm not going to mess with it because I'm going to mess something up, but I'll figure out how to make that quieter. More NFT drama. We got all sorts of stuff. Logan, thanks for the sub, dude. Wow, guest and sub. That's incredible. That was so much fun. Let me link the article again that Logan sent because yeah, it's probably too loud. I do want it loud, but I don't want it like hurt your ears loud. This article's really cool, and there's some. I mean, we danced around all sorts of subjects because it's so wide of a topic, but it's really super interesting. The role that governments and tastemakers play in art and in culture is incredibly underrated, and you can get into elections, you can get into memes, you can get into alphabet companies trolling 4chan. Like, it doesn't just happen in art, it happens all over culture, and a lot of culture is constructed by people in power who are trying to serve a certain purpose. And it's super interesting to figure out, like, okay, what's going on and where, you know? It's a lot to unpack, and we probably will never know. It usually, I mean, well, I won't go full conspiracy, but oh, what do we got for news? I bookmarked a bunch of stuff and I forgot to review it before, so let's dive right in. Let's take another look. So this is for Luna. I don't know if any of you guys are into Luna, but Kaleo has another prediction for Luna. Of course, it's bullish. He's a mega bull Chad. So that is that. Furthering our Julian discussion, we have Tyrone Hua. My dear friends, under the guidance of many friends, I finally released my first NFT. I hope you like it. I really appreciate your support and help during this time. He is the artist that did the original work that Julian sniped. And he sold this piece for 1.88 ETH to, I guess, oh, Matrix. Who's Matrix? Sometimes when I look through collectors' arts, I remember seeing something. Wait, what is this? I thought this was Matrix's. It says collected. Oh, he's reselling for 66. Wow. Oh, dude, where's David? Has anyone seen David lately? This piece is awesome. Cool. Anyways, good news. He sold it for 1.88 ETH, which is $3,600 at the time of this live stream. pretty cool. So that's good. I think that's, I don't know. I don't know what kind of restitution Julian would have to pay if it was like traditional art. I think you just kind of get a cease and desist, and then you have to stop or you go to court. But it's good that, I forgot that doesn't work. It's good that Tyrone sold this, made some of that money that Julian saw. So not much more on that, but it's pretty cool. Thought that was a nice little bow. Feels like a nice little wrap up for the drama that occurred. Next up, we have CryptoFunks. I'm sure you guys have seen what's going on here, but CryptoFunks is CryptoPunks turned around. They're facing left instead of facing right. And I don't know how this works, right? Because I saw that someone was saying that Larva Labs okayed this project, and they were mad because they think it devalues punks. What I think this is kind of interesting conceptually, but I don't think much more than, I don't know. I mean, I thought of something called hue shift punks, where you just turn the hue shift slider like one notch, and then you could make 360,000 or like however many colors there are in the hue shift. But it's like, I don't want to do another punks derivative. So in my mind, it's like, okay, these are verifiably not Larva Labs punks. They might look like them, but it's like buying just some knockoff Gucci's. It's like, yeah, okay, it's fun, right? I would buy some knockoff Gucci's to wear around my friends and stuff. But if you're gonna try and pass it off as normal Gucci's, you're actually retarded. Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting. A lot of work to prove a point. Yeah. I mean, didn't they just write a script to flip all the punks? And then you just pop a folder in Photoshop and then it just flips them around. Yeah, I mean, the point is kind of proven, but I mean, in my mind, the point is, well, what is their point? Did they have like a statement? I guess as I'm looking at the manifesto. CryptoFunk's origin, first week, principles of the future. Record actions. Copyright is shit and the new mechanisms need developing. First we tried to engage. Okay, so this is just explaining. I don't have time to read this all on stream, but maybe I'll take a look at this, and if it's interesting enough to talk about, we can hit it up again. But I mean, if the point is that these aren't going to be worth anything because they're not minted by Larva Labs, then I think the point is made. If the point is that you can come really close to copyright infringement without stepping on it, then I guess point made. I don't know, man. I've never seen any value or interest in punk ripoffs. I just don't get it. I don't get why you wouldn't just do something more creative, like Habibis or like Boys or something. I understand that not everyone has sorry, I'm just changing this in the background. I want to do surfing. Let me just scroll down and click on surfing. There we go. Oh, I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't understand. Every punk riff off just seems lazy to me. It just seems incredibly lazy. Like, oh, hey, that's popular. Let me, like, taking the Air Jordan logo and then just like, or like the Nike logo and just screw it. and then making shirts out of it and trying to sell them. It's like, what are you doing? Like, stop doing that. And just because it's in a new medium doesn't mean that it's less weird. Like, people have been doing, it's called counterfeiting. People have been doing this for decades and centuries. Just because it's in the NFT space doesn't make it revolutionary. It just makes it a different type of copyright infringement. Like, it's so weird to me. I understand the idea behind it. It's like, oh, but what if we flip it? And I'm just like, okay, well then you flip it and it's still shit. Done. And they won't be worth any money. So a lot of people are gonna buy and just get wrecked. I don't know how many they've sold. I don't know, but I would assume a lot of middle schoolers are gonna buy these to try and pretend like they own a punk. XP, I think we've had a lot of lazy, unimpressive punk remixes, and this is the laziest one, which in a weird way makes it the most impressive out of them all. That's so true. It's like so like little changed that it's actually just impressive how brazen it is. Because the other ones were just like, they were trying to get away with it or whatever. Logan, yeah, same man. That's why I said it. Like, I for sure would have done that in middle school. No, man, this one has 2 earrings instead of 1. It's legit. It's a new mint. This guy's gonna be the next big thing. Yeah. Anyways, that's my hot take on CryptoPunks. Got the manifesto, which is too long to read. Larva Labs. Okay, so this is it. Jimmy says, looks like Larva Labs isn't done damaging NFTs by taking 77 million out of the market forever. Now they're going to keep fumbling copyright issues. Use some of that mobbed and hire copyright lawyers. FFS. They okayed the Funk series, which is just punks facing left instead of right. I don't know. I mean, like, what are you gonna do? If you're punks, what are you gonna do? Like, take them to court and sue them over flipping your image? I don't like, and we're gonna have to figure this out in the NFT space. What do you do when someone steals your stuff? You, like, I don't know. You can't shut down their wallet. You can't. There's no arbitrators to, like. I think eventually what we're gonna need is consensus platforms. We're gonna need some sort of board or something like that, which sucks. It might need to be a DAO. I hadn't thought about that. So usually what you would have, right, is a board that verifies, like with Banksy paintings. You have a board, they go around, they verify, they have connections, and they are the official source on whether something is a Banksy or not. But what we're going to need because we want to keep it decentralized, right? So we're going to need a DAO that is for verifying. And maybe they take in fees from artists wanting to verify, and then they distribute those to the members who are helping vote to verify whether something's real or not. I don't know. I'm just talking out loud, but we're going to need something to verify what is the right wallet, what is not, all that stuff, and have like a repository of all that information. Because, I mean, I don't know what you do to fight it. What you do to fight it is you make the real ones verified and irrefutably so, and then you don't let other ones verify. But, you know, all sorts of mess. I'm just talking out loud. CryptoPunks allowing Larva Labs them to be listed is dumb. I think that he should mint color glyphs. I don't know. Anyways, we've said our piece on that. How many of you guys know, next story, about Framergence? Hit me with a 1 in chat if you know, a 2 if you don't know. Because I just found out about him. 2. So this is for emergence. Nobody knows. Hot lead. I don't remember who I saw this from yesterday, but the first deflationary NFT project, a generative art experiment. Also, join our beautiful community. Cool. Interesting. So what does that mean? Well, these are computer generated, right? But how is it deflationary? Oh yeah, Fleming DAO was burning the other day. Oh, yesterday. Yeah, yesterday they burned a bunch of art. And the way it's deflationary is if you burn your pieces, you get back new pieces, but one less. So no more than 1,000 pieces will ever exist. Once you have for emergences, you can burn them if you will in a burn to mint mechanism, first of its kind. Every number burned for emergencies automatically mint n-1 for emergencies back to the burner. So if you burn 5, you receive 4. The total supply is then reduced by 1. It's natural selection. Interesting. All right, have a nice bath, XV. Watching the stream in the bath, that's lavish. So, super interesting, right? They're generated, and then when you send them back, you get one less. So you deflate and get new art. And I don't know if they get more complicated the more you burn, but it's super interesting because there just won't ever be any more than the cap. Which obviously that's with any project, right? But the incentive to burn is okay. So primitive geometric shapes, when combined and repeated, can become complex systems, and particularly when they contain themselves. So they're fractals, made out of basic shapes, patterns that repeat. Some of the shapes are grand, delicate, full of intention. Some others collapse into themselves or are just torturous or too chaotic. You never know. However, they have different properties than the sum of their parts. It's called emergence. For emergence is a generative NFT experiment. So it's just kind of interesting. I thought that I would bring it to you guys' attention because you can't do simple addition and subtraction. You just if you get 5 of them and you don't like how they look, or you want to try and re-roll for like a more beautiful piece or a more rare piece or something, then you burn 5 and then you get 1, or then you get 4 back. Sorry. So it's whatever you burn minus 1. So the supply just is constantly going down depending on if people are trying to get new pieces or not. I don't know exactly what your incentive to burn yours is if you like your artwork, but maybe you just want to see what you get, you know? I don't know. If you burn 1, you get 0. I think so, because it said for every n burnt, you get n-1, so. CEO. Yeah, maybe, man. That'd be bad luck if you defied the algorithm. Anyways, I linked their Twitter. It's kind of interesting project. I think it's been around for a while, so. But I didn't know about it. Thought it was an interesting idea. And you can think about, right, this is what all this news is going to help us with. How can you be interesting with your mechanics in a way that entices people to value your project? What if you're doing, because I mean, this is cooler, even though it doesn't look as cool, in my opinion, than all the 10,000 generative arts, because it's like, oh, there's a concept behind it. I think it really elevates it. So what kind of little things, even if they don't like make or break the project, what kind of little things can you add in to really pique people's interest and get them talking about it and get them thinking that it's a robust system? So, oh, eggplant. Who in chat got eggplant sent to them? 1 if you did, 2 if you did not. And if you did not, you probably might have, you just haven't looked. I definitely did. Visceral. Apparently just everyone woke up with 2,000 eggplant coins in their wallet. And where did they come from? Well, if you look it up, we have the creator wallet right here. And I got to here and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't mess with Tezos Explorer very often. What people in my tweet were saying is that it's hedgehog. Token type, cute money, fixed supply, clover, and purple, which is eggplant. So they are doing what? I don't know. It looks like there's some sort of DeFi farming situation, and I don't know what their goal is. It could just be like Doge, right? Whereas they're just making a coin just to make a coin and then hoping that it takes off. So anyways, they make all these Tezos coins and it doesn't. I don't know. Nah, Luke, that's a bummer, dude. Bummer, dude. Hey, Luke, you've subbed for 2 months, man. Thank you so much. You get that sweet little badge next to your name. That's awesome. I think you and me are the only ones who have the 2 month on there. Awesome. Oh, geez. Thank you very much. Yeah, see, everyone else has the blue marble, and you have the purple black marble. It's 2 months, baby. Tunnel Rat, you gotta calm down your spending, man. It's too fast. Okay, so anyways, that's all the eggplant news. I just tried to look into it, really didn't find anything, and then someone posted on my tweet who was making them. Okay. You know what we're gonna cover next, right?
Boy.
We're covering the new boys.
Boy. Boy.
Also, what is this? I haven't seen this. I like Laron's art a lot. Boink. Okay. Whoa, McNaney going in on the memes. Man, those look good. Have you guys seen these yet? I would hope so. Here we go. This is it. The new boy gang. I think they're dropping Saturday. My favorite has got to be Baby Boy. 'Cause if you zoom in, wait. No. Lame. I hate when zoom doesn't work right on web pages. If you zoom in, the texture on this is crazy. Here, I'll just link you guys to the... You dig an ugly boy? Yeah, this is not the list of people I was expecting to be collabed with. And this is for sure not what I expected Habibi Boy to look like. I knew this was... How do you say it? Billie Eilish? Bill Eilish? Alright. Latest stuff. Yeah, Habibi Boy, I don't know. Surprised. I wanted it to be more... I don't know. I mean, it looks cool, right? It looks cool. I guess I was just expecting something different. Because black and orange isn't really Habibi colored or boys colored, but I like the hat. The hat turned out great. Ugly Boy, really good. Here, let's see if we can go through the details because she posted each of them individually. Yeah. Steffi. I'm so pumped to see Steffi on here. I didn't realize that she was doing this. The chest piece looks awesome. Balgasm, just like the legend. How many have you guys been following Balgasm for a while? I know I have. He's like, it's crazy. I think he only has like 5,000 followers or something. Make sure I spell this right. Yeah, 5,000 followers. That's crazy. He's been doing this forever. His Instagram's probably huge though. This one looks so good. I love the little eye sparkle. Oh, you guys want to take for a break for the news and see something? Yeah, Logan, his work is so good, and he's been doing it forever. Really, him and No Pattern are like OGs. They're like the grandfathers of design. It's so cool to see them both in the NFT space. Here. Let me show you guys something. Let me show you a little something. Just finished this up last night. Searching through my files. Bingo. First place, baby. The Thunderdome. We finished it. We finished the medal. Now I just need to add sound. But I, if I do say so myself, think it's looking pretty crispy. Do you like it? What do you think of it? I'm wondering if the clouds were a nice touch. What do you think of the colors? Tell me you like it. There we go. Oh, nothing, Logan. It's just what we do around here. Where are the other ones? I know she posted the other ones. Oh, we're on Balgasm's Twitter. What? We'll get there. Trust me. Habibi boy. Is that fur? Or is it wood? I don't know what kind of texture that is. Looks pretty good. David PB Art. I don't know about David, so I went through and checked out these people's works. The ones that I didn't know. But this one's awesome. Look at this texture. And that necklace. So if you look at David's art, it's right up his alley. Got that cool texture. I mean, the boy looks like it fits right in with his stuff. Look at this. Twitter, oof. But look at that composition. You can tell he's a designer. How cool is that? Nice little sculpture, nice colors. That compression hurts. It's really frustrating. Is this... Oh, it's on foundation. Hey, later, Rustan. Thanks for dropping by, dude. Look at this. Ah! Where'd I go? That's cool, right? I didn't even know about him before. Awesome. It's really nice. I love the idea of like replicating actual physical objects in their space, like with the podium and everything, but it's like an impossible object. Pretty cool though. Okay. And then you guys can find all these on Laron's page. Then we got the Uglies. Living up to its name. That nose. This one is beautiful. Look at the lighting on this one. This must be Photoshop work afterwards, huh? The glows. Yeah, looks like it. Really cool though. Yeah, because down here that doesn't make sense. It's a little bit wide. It's awesome though. It looks great. The texture on it, so good. I mean, did anyone tell me how to say this? Billy Ellis? I don't know how to say his name. That's the one hard part about streaming is like I know how to read all these names. I don't know how to say any of them. Bill Eilis. Bill? Anyways, this one's good. Classic Bill. And this one's my favorite. Look at this texture. I don't know how well you guys can see it on stream, but there's like a ridged texture here. And then look at the body. It looks like it's made out of gelatin. And then these cheeks. It's just such a nice boy. So good. If this one's available, for a reasonable price, I'll be trying to hop in on that. Yeah, it looks like pink jade. Yes, it does. It looks like a gemstone. What? Who's selling Smart Boy? I gotta watch this so I can see where the market's at for... Dom is selling Smart Boy for 20. Interesting. Interesting. We'll keep an eye on that. Gotta feel out what Shy Boy's worth. Lee Krasner. Emergence, Lorona. That's most of it. That's most of the news for today. What do you guys think about the new boys? It sounds like they're all going to drop on Saturday. Summer collabs under the unions, along with mine and Too Much Lag, are 8 drops happening at the same time, starting at 0.35 ETH. The original price of the Genesis series. Wow. Wow. They won't stay there. That's crazy. Surely they won't stay there. And if they do, I'll buy them. Yeah, it has been a while since the last boy. Oh yeah, Tunnel Rat, we talked about grunts at the beginning. I think you were in here. Or we mentioned them. Tunnel Rat, our boy, his own man, dropped grunts and they sold out instantly. Have you guys seen this? Tunnel Rat killed it. They sold out so fast, and they're awesome. Oh, I like that song. I like the Kilroy one. I wanted the yellow one, and I just wasn't paying attention enough. They're all gone. Crazy. Nice work, man. Yeah. You definitely... Okay, so we're looking at the secondary right now. Best offer. So someone's willing to buy all of them for 0.1, 0.15. So you at least have to do 0.2, Tunnel. I can talk pricing with you if you want. But here's the thing. I know that it was a weird day. Should be a good day, man. I know that you think that they sold out just because they're cheap. But I don't think that's the case. I think they sold out because they're good. So I think 0.1, 0.2 is a good price for the next drop. Yeah, we can hop on a call later if you want. I'm not an expert, but I have helped talk about pricing quite a bit with collectibles. So if you want some help or me to talk through with you, I'm more than happy to, because they're awesome. So keep an eye out for Tunnel Rat and his grunts. Working on more right now, and working on other crazy stuff, which sounds sweet. Doot, doot, doot. That's it, guys. Let me see. Did anyone else? Nobody else redeemed anything. You know what that means. Do you guys have any news that you want me to review? How about it, guys? Anything else you want me to cover? I'm waiting. Meebit's about to flip Bored Ape. Robness burning a punk. Did he? On purpose? Eggplants. That's as far as I got on eggplants, Logan. That's just they're made by that company or that account, and I have no clue why. Super rare collector royalties. Oh, what is that? What is that? Crunchy.network. What is that, Xander? Is that anime? Not gonna click on it. I don't trust you, Xander. Rob Ness V2 white paper not included. How to burn a CryptoPunk and not feel a thing.
Happy Trash Day, everyone.
What? Oh, hold on. Sorry.
Alright. Let's burn a CryptoPunk. Happy Trash Day, everyone.
Trash day? Why? What?
Here we go.
Dead.
See you later.
He's paying to burn it? Why?
Let's see if it confirms, which it will.
Why? Here, in before
You know how
everyone.
Ethereum is, it takes forever.
77 ETH, damn.
There it is. Confirms. And that's it.
In before.
Oh.
Why didn't you send it to me?
Just real quick, just want to thank all the trash people around the world that have made pieces, and it's all about you guys today, so thank you. And this guy is gone. The burn footage will be on Hick at Nunk, so alright, peace out.
What? What? Why? Why? Yeah, subtle 77. That's exactly what I was thinking, Brian. Just subtle flex in your MetaMask. Why? Burner of Punk 2317. Is it just like a publicity thing? Or does he actually mean something by it? Publicity? I mean, that just seems like a bad idea, but was it a very valuable punk? Didn't look like it. I don't know. I don't know much about him. I mean, it could be his whole thing. It was worth 14K. He doesn't like punks. He was trying to raise the value of funks. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, if you don't like punks, then sell it. I don't think well, because here's the thing. Is burning a punk and streaming it worth $14,000 in publicity? Probably not. But we're talking about it. I don't know. You guys think this is gonna get picked up by like mainstream media? I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a good move to me. It is if you have 77 ETH. I don't know, I guess, but like 14,000 is 14,000. I understand if you have enough, it's really not that much money and it's worth the publicity, but you can pretend to do it and buy a bunch of fake ads or something, buy a bunch of ads or something. Yeah, I mean, I agree with Risqueros. I don't think it's nearly enough publicity to justify that. Well, because here's the real thing, right? It's like, oh wow, he burned a punk, but why? Like exactly what I was doing when I was watching it. It's like, okay, well, why? And then there's like no clear reason on here. You know, people are gonna watch it and be like, oh, okay, that's dumb. There's like no reason. He doesn't talk about it. He just says trash day and then burns it. Like, have a statement. It'll catch on faster. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know much about him, Xander, so that makes sense to me. It seems like the move of someone who just does stuff. But I'm sure he has enough money where he can just afford to do stuff, which is cool. Cool, whatever. I mean, give it away, right? Yeah, here, think this one out. Burning it is like flashy and kind of rebellious. But he didn't say anything about it, right? So it doesn't really mean shit. But giving it away, you know how many people would clamor to get any CryptoPunk? And he could just give it to him? That would be the publicity, right? That would build his following. That would build a huge hype. That might even build like a news story around it, because there'd be a bunch of people wanting to have $14,000 that could go up given to them. So, trash is an art movement. Did you just remint it, Ondy? Did you just remint it? Ondy just sent this. Yeah, that's fair, Xander, but dude might need to rethink his style then, or something. I don't know. It just seems like such a better move. Yeah. I don't know much about him then, so I'll take your word for it. Ondy, this is... I don't know, man. I hope it sells for you. It's the same thing as the backwards punk, though. We should talk to Nahiko. Maybe Nahiko can bring it back. As if I care about copyright. Did Robness make the funks? Is that why? Look into his stuff. Yeah, could look into his stuff. What? Ugh. Did I type it wrong? Robness? Let me see. Did I do it wrong? What is Robness official? Oh, Twitter's so weird sometimes. He doesn't follow me. How am I supposed to follow him? You know what? I'll be nice. How to add dick to your... Y'all need Jesus. This is crazy. It's like cum rocket and dick coin and like... What happened to this being a boon for artists? What happened? Is Logan right? Are we just gonna turn into a giant meme society who literally only does jokes all the time? What happened to making art that means something to you? How do we bring that back? I want to go back. I don't want to buy Bitcoin. I want people to paint with a limited palette. I want to look at pictures of cottages in the forest. I don't want to look at this. I don't want Piss Christ. I don't want Jackson Pollock. I want realist paintings. And like conceptual art that means something to people. Very personal. I don't want this. I don't want it. We've got to go back. I don't want porn collectible cards. I know people are going to do it either way, but like, how do we stop it? I don't want it. You guys can collect your porn collectible cards all you want. And I'll be here making art about clouds and poetry and trees and painting in my garage. And you guys can buy garbage cans and Duchamp urinals. Go for it. Let's check this out. Logan told us to check this out. Rant over. Oh no, another rant though. Yeah. I don't know. I understand that I have a view on modern art that doesn't jive with most people. But I don't care about your concept 99% of the time. 99% of the time, your concept is, hey guys, there's global warming. Yeah, man, we get it. What's your concept? Hey, man. No, this is a figure of Jesus Christ in a block of piss. It's cool because it's irreverent. Okay. Why? Wait, like what? Like it's so weird. I don't understand it. Like if you want to do like crazy high conceptual artwork that loses all aesthetic value, then become a philosopher. Why are you taping a banana to the wall? Xander, all right, Jesus man, go back to the BCs. Damn, dude, that's tough. That's harsh. Yeah, banana wall is garbage. Why? I don't know, guys. I understand the idea of having high concept behind your art pieces, but when it loses all aesthetics, it really just... I don't know why. I don't get it. Yeah, the banana wall is funny. I mean, that's what it is, right? It's like, at a certain point, it just turns into memes. And I know better than anyone, like the blur between memes and art is a very fun one to be on. High tier post-structuralism. Yeah. I don't know, guys. Call me crazy, but I like cheesy, realist art. I like Thomas Kincaid much better than I like a banana on a wall. Looking at a Thomas Kincaid painting, like as pop and like kitschy as he is, and like how sold out, I like looking at those paintings and seeing a cozy, warm cottage and feeling good. I don't want to look at a banana on the wall. I want to look at a picture that's like, oh man, I would like to go on a vacation there. That looks warm and fuzzy. Call me crazy. There's just no definitive division between these two things developed yet. Oh, postmodernism, but it's separate thing from art, in my opinion. Oof. Yeah. It is a separate thing from art, right? It's a completely separate thing. I hate postmodernism. I don't think postmodernism is good for anyone. But is art not a social commentary? I mean, it can be. It's just like a... If art's a social commentary, then it's just a social commentary. You can do all sorts of stuff with art, but it doesn't have to forego all aesthetic value to make a point. Cheers to the dude who ate the banana. Even if it's a reflection of ourself, we are self-reflexive beings of our environments. Are you talking about the art, Logan? So even if art is a reflection of self, we are self-reflexive beings of our environments? I mean... Hopefully on, like, if this is a replay or something, you guys can read the comments as I'm responding to them. It's hard to read them all out loud while I'm talking, but I like the discussion that's going on here right now. I think that... Because, I mean, what do postmodernists say? They say that everything is perception and subjective, essentially, right? Nothing means anything unless it's through your lens, and then it, you know, so like the individual is like God. It's like the distilled down version of it. I don't think that the individual matters that much. I think that there's certain things that we all want to fulfill in life, and I think that there's a purpose to that, but the purpose is a small part in a whole that really doesn't, that we don't matter that much. We matter for the part we play, not for who we are individually. Like, we're not the end to everything. And so I like to make art that's reverent towards something bigger than me, like an idea or a dream or another. Like, I like to be a conduit for things that are truer and bigger than me. And I don't like making a piece of art that really is just only what I think about something. I like to point towards things. And I like other art that points towards things that are just bigger than, here's a concept I came up with. And I guess I'm thinking out loud a little bit, so I might not be completely coherent in this, but I think that the radical individualism that postmodernism brought to our culture and is seeped into all levels of our society, I think is very damaging because it forsakes the whole for the parts. I think that in doses, that's fine. But I think that as a credo, it's very destructive. Tunnel rat is right. The only purpose in life is Ditcoin. Yeah, that's a fact. I forgot to say that as my I forgot the 101s of theses and manifestos. You got to explain at the very beginning what your outcome's going to be. I forgot to do that. Anyways, that's just my ramble and rant for the day, like we do on Tuesdays. Got all spiced up talking to Logan. That was fun. That got some ideas rolling around the old noodle noggin, and I like it. I honestly haven't talked about like art in a deep manner in a long time. It doesn't happen in the design world very much. All right. Oh, I gotta get a Matthew McConaughey sound on here. I don't know why I chose to drink booch every stream, because I end up at the end of the stream with just incredible amounts of burps. And then I'm just like trying to silently burp away from the mic. All right. Let's watch this one video that Logan sent us, yeah?
Recovering trauma victim from years of exposure to international art English, I'm going to give you the most direct explanation I can. NFTs are certificates of authenticity for digital art. Plain and simple. NFTs aren't the art itself, they're the certificates of authenticity for the art that allow people to see who originally made the art, who currently owns it, and how much it sold for. Every time the NFT changes hands, the new owner and the price paid is automatically recorded on the blockchain, which is a digital archive of transactions no one can alter and everyone can see. The idea is that by having these certificates of authenticity be publicly available for everyone to view online, NFTs can guarantee the provenance of the digital art they're connected to. See, wasn't so painful.
Provenance? Is that a and I'm not trolling. Is that a regional dialect? Because I say provenance. Is that how you East Coasters say things? Provenance? It sure sounds fancier. Provenance? Logan, you do? Provenance? Stick to the natural order of the wind. Okay, let's see what else this guy has to say.
I think the most common response people have to hearing about NFTs for the first time is, that's pretty fucking stupid. Why would you bother buying art you can't even hold in your hands? To which I'd respond, fair enough. But I think as an increasing amount of people come to understand their external reality and personal identity through digital interactions, it makes sense that digital ownership would become more normalized over time. You can't hold likes or followers either, but people certainly pay for digital possession of those things. Some people bring up this idea of not being able to hold the work as a way of defending the traditional art market and art objects, but the irony is that the traditional art market was the first one to normalize purely digital ownership through free ports, which are tax-free storage havens. These days, it's completely common for a collector in London to buy a work they saw over email and then have the work shipped from Los Angeles to the Delaware Freeport, where it sits in a darkened room as an asset on a computer's spreadsheet. Once it's in the Freeport warehouse, the work can be sold from collector to collector a dozen times over without moving an inch or ever being seen in person. So the idea of contact-free sales happening digitally isn't exactly a new one in the art world.
I mean, there's a ton of stuff that is like this. It's just an easy way to verify. You don't need a third party to verify because it's on the blockchain. I mean, there's a ton of stuff that you buy but don't like own, or you don't have in your house, right? A lot of stuff. It's like, but you just don't need a third party for it. Essentially, you don't need a big company to store your art. You just do it yourself.
course, the difference is that in the case of free ports, the art being sold is ultimately a physical object stored privately, whereas with NFTs, the art being sold is digital and publicly registered. This sets up the second most common question about NFTs, which is how can a digital file, which is infinitely reproducible, be considered valuable? Can't I just screenshot the image and become the owner of it myself?
Yes.
And it's true. Anyone's free to use digital
can.
images that have already
Checkmate.
been purchased.
Done with this video. Yes, you can. Sorry. Sorry, nerds. And you're ruining the environment. Get bent. There. Let me go full screen so we can get the... Get bent. You can screenshot it. You can own it yourself with no money at all. So take that and shove it up your ding hole, bungus. Yeah, have fun at ruining the environment, you Ponzi schemer. Yeah, get out of here. Checkmate, bitch.
But think of it like this. Two people are standing in a house at the same time. One person is the homeowner, the other person is the guest. Functionally speaking, the guest can make use of the house in every way the owner can. The guest can go to bed, cook a meal, use a bathroom, whatever. What the guest can't do is sell
They can't right-click save it because it's a house.
the house because they lack the contractual right to do so. What NFTs do is formalize the relationship between the work, its creator, and its buyer so that ownership can be established for future sale. Technically speaking, every image can be reproduced infinitely, but that implies that there's people who actually want to reproduce it. Viral images, which we think of as common, are actually some of the most rare images there are for this reason. Because with millions of images uploaded and instantly forgotten about every second, viral images are the ones that have beaten the odds and somehow became visible. To be worthy of infinite reproduction means the greatest number of people have found the greatest amount of symbolic value in the image. That's why this whole conversation around art losing its value through reproduction is the opposite of how digital images obtain their value in the first place. NFTs are just the mechanism used to capture this ephemeral aura so it can be quantified and traded. Chapter 1. What are NFTs? Most explanations...
Wow, Logan. We already knew all this, dude. What are you trying to do to us? This isn't a no-coiner stream. This is a super elite club crypto art NFT enthusiast stream. This is where we talk inside baseball. This is where we laugh at the no-coiners. We spit on them from the balcony. Clown on them. Should have linked the last video first. What is the last video? Is it all on his I'm just joking, by the way. He explained that very well. That's probably a good video to send to your no-coiner friends. He did explain it very well. Is this his Instagram? Lewd. Does this guy like... Is this guy a postmodernist? Is this the last one?
Dude, my name is Brad Trammell, and for today's report, I'd like to welcome you to
Post-memer.
the future. We have flying
That's fair.
cars, we've eliminated disease, and now you can even buy JPEGs for the low price of a college education. I'm of course talking about NFTs, the newest trend in digital art that's sweeping the nation faster than Gangnam
I
Style.
don't think I can full
The
screen
problem
this.
is, sometimes the future moves so fast, it can be difficult to understand what the fuck is actually going on.
Wait, is this what we just
So
watched?
I'm going to try to provide some clarity about it.
Help! You could just mint a Jackson Pollock painting. Oh, I'm lost, Logan. If you have the link to the last one, IGTV videos, I'm a boomer. I don't know how to do that. You can block him. What in the world? There's like 800 more options on Instagram than there used to be. What? This is terrible. This is IGTV, right? Oh, full thoughts.
Chapter 3. My thoughts on NFTs. The easiest way to visualize NFTs is to think of a pyramid scheme within a pyramid scheme.
What?
The NFT art market is a way of recreating the same power dynamics of the traditional art world by making sure that everyone who participates in it also has...
Is that number 2? No. This is number 1.
It was Silicon Valley's newly invented form of money, called cryptocurrency, that was searching for something too. Cryptocurrency has long been called a solution looking for a problem
like
to
4?
solve,
Okay.
which is a nice way of saying that it's effectively fucking useless. Cryptocurrency's most useful application is for things like money laundering, black market sales, and tax evasion, but those aren't exactly the types of things you can market to normies.
How is it best used for tax evasion and money laundering? It's an open blockchain. I don't understand this argument. It was before when nobody understood, but that was just because it was new, and governments are too slow to catch on to new shit. The technology in and of itself is way, way, way easier to catch money laundering and tax evasion.
Supporters always say cryptocurrency is really just like any other type of money, just without the convenience of being able to spend it at your local grocery store, or to pay your rent, or to pay your student loans, or to use it for any of the other things people regularly use money for. The fact that cryptocurrency isn't intuitively easy to obtain, and that once you do obtain it, you can't do anything with it, has been a major hurdle in its widespread adoption. These factors, in addition to its rapidly fluctuating price, are why most people rightfully view cryptocurrency's main function to be a speculative investment.
Yeah, of course it's a speculative investment. But it's so easy to buy. Like, if you're a monkey, you can buy crypto right now. You download a Robinhood app and then you press the buy button. Like Coinbase, you just sign up for an account. It's not hard to buy.
And like any others,
You can't in New York. What? Why? Is that true? You can't just download Robinhood and click buy? Well, just get your friend in a free country to send you some. And PayPal him some dollars. Yeah, I mean, Robinhood's not a good option, but like, it is easy to buy it.
speculative investment. The idea is that you buy in, wait until the price goes up, then you sell it. But the question is, why would the price of cryptocurrency ever go up when it offers people the ability to do so little? In other words, what is the incentive for someone to exchange their normal fiat money for crypto? Well, as a kind of tautology, the only thing you can offer people through cryptocurrency is the chance to make money. If they're able to convince other people, it's a chance to make money too. This is why crypto culture places such a huge emphasis.
That's the stupidest argument I've ever heard. So, is it a pyramid scheme if someone sells you colored pencils? Because you're buying it in hopes that you can use it to make art that makes more money? Like, that's how the world works. People buy things to make more things so they can make money to eat food. That's how it works. And like, this is all ignoring that he just said it's a speculative investment. So you invest in cryptocurrency in the hopes that it will be more useful one day, and then the value will be incredibly high. And what's wrong with that? It doesn't make any sense. It's kind of a straw man argument. Like, it's basically saying, like, I don't think that it's going to be something one day, so you shouldn't buy it because you can't do anything with it now. It's like, well, that's why people are buying it, is because they want to help. They think it's a better technology and they want it to be better, and they think it will be, so they're going to buy, and then when it goes up, they can make money off it. And it's not a bad thing to make money off it. You're not dropping the bag on someone. Like it's the stock. It's just how markets work. And like anything, it's like you buy something so that you can hopefully either utilize it to survive, be happy, or make more money, which like helps you be happy and survive. So.
Emphasis on recruitment and why the people who are invested in crypto never seem to, for a second, shut the fuck up about it. Whether it's through memes or music or status updates, people of cryptocurrency think of the world as their stage to evangelize, while kindly treating us to minute-by-minute portfolio updates. How cool is that? This non-stop evangelism is partially thanks to social media exerting pressure on us to talk.
Well, the evangelism is because people are excited and they want other people to be on board with them. I mean, I've talked to my parents about it and stuff because, like, I don't want them to miss out on something that I believe will make a lot of money and be the future. So, I mean, just because you don't want it to be the future, then you get mad when everyone else is on it. I think there's it's the pic on screen. I don't know.
About literally anything at all times, but there's a more direct incentive for turning yourself into a human billboard for crypto, which is that talking about it to anyone who will listen increases the chances that they'll invest in it too. You see, there's no money to be made in being the last person to trade your dollars in for crypto, so you have to convince people to get into crypto after you.
Yeah, we should shut down the stock market.
This emphasis on recruitment is a hallmark of pyramid schemes, which are a fraud investment strategy where people make money by unloading expensive inventories of useless junk on one another for...
No, pyramid schemes are pyramid schemes because they're unsustainable. If you have a market that's sustainable, it's not a pyramid scheme, it's just a market. They're the same thing, though. It's just one is meant to scam people and the other one is meant to be a viable place to speculate on investments. It's just so dumb. It's so dumb and reductive. It's like, oh man, they both make money by selling things, so both are bad. It's like, no, the reason that pyramid schemes are bad is because they're purposefully unsustainable to funnel all the money to the top. One person Satoshi doesn't get a portion of every Bitcoin ever sold or traded. That would be a pyramid scheme because he's siphoning off the capital to make it be a viable market. And so is everyone below him. Like, they're all siphoning from from the people below. That's why it's unsustainable. If you don't do that, then it's sustainable.
Compounding prices. Sound familiar? For a while, cryptocurrency relied on recruiting people to join as a pure expression of political ideology. That crypto investment was how you could make an anarcho-capitalist utopia come to life.
That's true.
This proved to have a strong appeal to a fedoraed few, but ultimately a limited appeal to most people in the reality.
Yeah, that's true. It's a cryptocurrency for a long time. Very, very autistic. A lot of very rigid thinking and libertarians. A lot of libertarians in the old school crypto days.
Based community. The one thing all great pyramid schemes recognized was that you couldn't just convince people to buy in for buying in's sake alone. You had to at least pretend your scheme offered the ability to do something with the inventory, whether that was through scam diet pills, cheap makeup, or useless protein powder. So, people tried to invent things to do with crypto. And one of the first recreational purposes to really take off for crypto was CryptoKitties in 2017, which was a blockchain game run on Ethereum that allowed players to purchase, collect, and breed and sell virtual cats. The crucial invention here is that because CryptoKitties operated on Ethereum's blockchain network as a non-fungible token unique to each CryptoKitty, it meant that the use of cryptocurrency was the only way players could participate. It wasn't an alternative option to using dollars, it was the money. At the time, CryptoKitties was thought to be a massive success. The game's popularity in December 2017 congested the Ethereum network, causing it to reach an all-time high in the number of transactions.
Yo, I remember that. Do you guys remember that? CryptoKitties like skyrocketed gas fees. It bogged down the ETH system.
CryptoKitties was a crude proof of concept for how to create a collector market for purely aesthetic goods. By comparison, you can see how the later NFT art platforms like Nifty Gateway, Super Rare, and Foundation were positioned for success. CryptoKitties only offered a visually limited set of items that were related to their own hermetically sealed world of 8-bit cat breeding, whereas NFT art platforms offered the aesthetically limitless world of art, a commodity that,
feel you,
unlike
Xander.
digital cats, already had the cachet of being collectible,
not just a
valuable,
couple
and
fucking-
prestigious to own. CryptoKitties were just inanimate creations of the game's designers, but behind every NFT artwork for sale was a living, breathing artist. This meant that the new recruitment team for cryptocurrency would be the artists selling their wares on the NFT platforms, giving cryptocurrency an army of new evangelists overnight.
Show
who
my
were
tweet.
Highly motivated and deeply experienced in the creation of visual promotion. Through the NFT platforms, the two worlds
know
had
much
finally
more.
merged. Silicon Valley would give the art world its money if the art world agreed to use the in-house crypto cash Silicon Valley had invented. And in exchange, cryptocurrency would finally be given a purpose by adopting visual.
Guys, we've been had. We're being used. We're being used to pump the bags of the global elite.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
What are we gonna do?
What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?
Fuck.
Art and its built-in recruitment culture of self-promotional hustlepreneurs. Collectors who no longer believed in the
Hustle.
connoissorial
Where's Gary
authority
Vee
of
at?
museums now had the perfect stage to express their speculative buying power in private without having to go to silly events. It was
Yeah.
all systems go. Chapter 3. My thoughts on NFTs.
Chapter 3.
Meanwhile, as the art world searched in vain for Silicon Valley's money,
Okay,
it was
guys.
Silicon Valley's new.
What do you think? Do you think that we are you think that do you think that I mean it's just such a pessimistic view on the entire thing. It feels like people want to be so pessimistic because they're too lazy to do it themselves. That's just what it feels like to me. Whenever I hear stuff like that, it just feels like a cope. Yeah, Jared, we're screwed. We've been had. We're literally just slaves making money for the globalists. It's just, I mean, nothing he's saying is wrong. It's just all twisted through this lens of cynicism. And I don't know why you would do that. It's just been a rug pull the whole time, Dead Tunnel Rat. People have, for decades, it's been a decade-long grand master plan, all leading to getting the artists to spread your fake money bags. It's just such a cope. And here's the thing, a lot of NFT art and artists are coping too, right? There's a middle ground here. Purely digital NFTs will have a place in the future, but they're not like gonna take over everything and be the only thing available. I think there's gonna be a mix between being able to verify your real life work, and there's gonna be some sort of middle ground that we come to for sure. But I mean, just starting, it seemed like he started from the idea that it's a pyramid scheme and then tried to fit everything else into it. Because if you start from if you start from the perspective that it's another tool to make money as an artist, that now you can verify your art digitally, where before you couldn't. If you just take it from like that simple point of view, it's everything else just makes sense in a much healthier and more generous way. It's not so cynical and calling an entire group of people pawns. And I mean, it's got it. What do you guys think it is? I'm curious to think what you guys think it is. Is it, do people who say this, it's either the environment or it's this, or, you know, it's just one of these things that kind of makes sense, but it's like bro science. It's like, no, man, you drink more milk and milk has protein, so it makes your muscles bigger. And like, you only drink milk, or you eat non-fat food because it doesn't have fat in it, so you don't get fat. And it's like, okay, well, that doesn't, I mean, it sounds okay, but then if you like think about it a little bit more, it doesn't make any sense. Who knows? It's all fear-based. I can't get my starving artist friends to get into NFTs. They'd just be lazy or short-sighted. I mean, that's what I think too. I think it's a cope because they're comfortable enough to not. Here's the thing. It's hard to risk any amount of time on something that's so speculative, because that was the one thing that he really did get right. Cryptocurrency is highly speculative. I personally believe that it's past the point of risky speculation and into the point of reasonable speculation. But he's not wrong in that if it doesn't catch on, it's just not worth anything. But what they don't ever tell you is that's literally everything. Like, the way they explain this is like it's unique to NFTs. Oh man, they have to sell something and then another person's gonna buy it hoping they'll make more money. It's like everything? Like everything in the world? It's like, you can't just like put a lens on it and then say this is the problem with NFTs. It's that they want to make money. It doesn't make any sense. Change and risk are hard for some people. I think that's the base of it, right? The utility of crypto is difficult to see in simple terms and over short amounts of time. Totally, it's time. Well, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I ran into this at the beginning, right? I was like, okay, this sounds like a good idea, but we really need a way for people to flex their NFTs. I honestly thought there would be way, way, way more people just putting random NFTs as their avatars. The honor code is honestly incredible within the NFT community, where if you don't own something, it's messed up to put it as your avatar. I don't think that'll scale well. I think once NFTs get big enough, it's going to be free for all and people are going to do whatever they're going to do, right? But I've been shocked how nobody has stolen my any of the NFTs that I own. Nobody's used them as their profile picture, and that's crazy. So like, I think there needs to be some sort of like we were talking about earlier with the DAO, there needs to be some sort of like committee or system in place to verify things. And ideally you'd be able to flex it in a verified way on Twitter or on your social medias or whatever. And you know what? Shill time. Atomic Forms. Atomic Form has a good frame coming out. So they have a frame, and then I don't know if it's announced yet, but they have another product coming out that is very cool. And they verify your NFTs in the frame. So nothing will show up on this frame unless it's a verified NFT. And if you use that link, I get a kickback from it as an affiliate. So if you are thinking about a display, if you're thinking about doing anything like that, if you can use that link, atomicform.com/orphan, it's just free to help me. So, But don't buy it if you don't want to, if you're not thinking about it already. But it is really cool, right? It looks nice. And so, like, imagine this being a household name. Okay, if you walk into someone's house and you see an atomic form, you know that whatever shows up on that screen is verified, is an actual NFT. And then imagine that on Twitter or Instagram. So, anyways, little plug, but that's where we're heading with that stuff. Was I on a rant? I lost my track. The point is, it feels like, I was talking about what, I was talking about what my hangups at the beginning were. It was like, I think we need something like that, or a unified metaverse where people go to like look at art and like you can actually own your stuff. And then eventually it's like, okay, well, I see that that could be a problem that was solved, and so I'm going to dive in now. I think people, like all the people naysaying, I think they're just being cautious, and it's probably out of fear on some level, or comfort. Both are okay. It's just annoying. But that's why we're going to get rewarded for being an early if it does take off, right? That's what speculation is. So I just wish they would stop saying dumb stuff. Like, if you have legitimate grievances, then go for that. But don't just tell me that, like, wanting to sell something for a higher price means it's a pyramid scheme. It's like, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Anyways. What time is it? 4:30. Oh, Thunderdome. All right, guys, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap it up. Thunderdome this week. I should have announced this at the beginning, but we had more than 13 people watching. Thunderdome this week. George Nowak, designer, animator extraordinaire. I genuinely forgot to ask him for a prompt. Let's come up with it. George is into esports, design, YouTube. Oh, not a good look, but it's okay. We'll recover. Typography. Ooh, that's what we're gonna do. This Thunderdome this week, you're going to have to do a letter. Any letter or number will be your final piece. And we'll judge those. Whatever style, whatever you want. It just has to be, the main focus has to be a letter or a number. And then we'll judge it on Thursday. No, it doesn't have to be just one. The primary, yeah, symbols work too. The primary focus has to be letters, numbers, symbols. It has to be something typographical. And I'll explain this better in the Twitter post, but since I just came up with it, that's what it is. But it has to be the main focus. Hell yeah. yeah, let me pop open George's Twitter link. George is great. I'm excited for this one. Such a nice dude. He's got his own stream and YouTube channel too, so definitely go give him a follow. And I'm so excited to have him on Thursday to judge with me. There you go. That's the stream, guys. I had a great time. We got some ranting in. We got some raving in. We got some legitimate news. We got some garbage news. We got some PSYOP CIA talk with Logan. We got to hear that Logan is, in fact, still making art. And very soon we'll be releasing something probably physical. but also probably digital. I'm gonna link his Twitter again too. Beautiful. Go give those two boys a follow. Men. Those men, those boomers. And then I'll be tweeting about it. I'll be posting it in the Discord. Send me a DM. I want to hear about those collectibles you're working on. All right, guys and gals. That's the stream for the day. Another banger, another hot one. Yeah, Dwayne, letter or number being the main focus. Thanks, Xander. Thank you guys for coming. Thank all of you. Xander, Jared, Dwayne. It's secret. You won't even tell me? I'm an influencer. I will cancel your career. Do you know how important I am? I'm Medici. I'm a pioneer. And you're not going to show me your collectible project? You're canceled. You are canceled.
I'll ban you from the chat. I'll ban you from the chat. You'll never come back.
Nobody denies me sneak previews of their project.
You'll never come back again. It'll be your last time in the chat.
Nobody. I'll call Nikki Papers. I'll do it. No, I won't. I don't have the balls. Guys. Wow. Beautiful stream. Just got to ban Git real quick for not giving me special privileges, and then we'll be good to go. Thursday, 2 o'clock, PST, Thunderdome with George. Letters, numbers, symbols. Get them in. Do them in your style, whatever you like. Saturday, we have Boys Chat. I forgot with who, but it's going to be good. It always is. And you know what, guys? Marry, fuck, kill. I'd marry all of you. Psych. I'd marry my wife. Peace.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.